Okay guys, hey, this is Adrian and I have another Otome video for you. And we are talking about Celestia Chain of Fate today. So this game just released a few days ago, and I did not finish it before it released, but yeah, oh well. I did get a review copy from PCube and Agate through keymailer, so thank you to all those organizations for the key. I very much do appreciate it because I had a very fun time playing this game. So let's talk about it a little bit. The good, the bad, I'll be honest. In the beginning, I'm just gonna say, from my perspective, mostly the good. But yeah, so the game is made by Agate. It's an Indonesian company, and they have a mobile game called Memories, and they actually have an English version, so like you can go download their game. And I haven't really looked into it that much. I don't know how the monetization works on the mobile game, but I assume it's pretty much your standard mobile Otome monetization, you know, which personally, I'm really not a huge fan of Otome mobile games. Like, the monetization usually kills it for me. I 100% prefer just like paying for a route straight up. Okay, so like for example, I liked Voltage games because you pay per route, so it's not any of this stuff going on. So again, have not gone to the Memories app by Agate, don't know how their monetization works. But the reason I'm mentioning it is because they have other stories in there. So the fact that PCube brought this game to Steam and Switch, if it does well, hopefully maybe they'll bring their other games, Agate's other games. That's what I'm hoping for. And then also, of course, like Celestia Chain of Fate also has a sequel. So you can Google it, you can find the sequel, you can find the trailer video for it, but just gonna, it's a sequel, guys. It's gonna have spoilers. So I recommend you get the game first. Okay, so where can you play this game? So I got my copy through Steam. I'm a Steam girl. I do play a lot of games on Switch. If the Otome games are only on Switch, I'll usually get them on Switch because they're only on Switch. But I 100% prefer to get my games on Steam. I also have a Steam Deck, which is basically kind of like a Switch, so I can still like lay in bed and play my Otome games, right? So that's one of the reasons I prefer Steam, is that if I want to play on my computer or my desktop, I can, or if I want to go to my bed and play on my Steam Deck, I can. So that's kind of just my preference, but as far as like playing the game, whether you get it on Steam or Switch, not really a big deal. It's on the eShop, Nintendo eShop for Switch. It's on the Steam Digital Shop. It currently has like a 10% discount, I think, on both of those platforms. The base price for the game is $30, which is not bad. I think that's an appropriate price. And then I think with 10%, it goes down to like, good math. No, I can't. 27, something like that. So you can get a little bit off if you want the game now. But just so you're aware, this is a mobile Otome game being turned into a PC and Switch game. So it is set up kind of differently than you would see a typical Otome game. So I don't think it's a bad thing, it's just different. So it may not be exactly what you're used to. So as you play through the story, there are 3 romanceable guys. This is Ash, he's the icy cold prince guy, blue hair, ice, just saying. This is Val, the fiery red demon guy, and this is Luke, the white-haired angelic guy. So you have 3 guys, and there's really one route. It's kind of like a giant, large common route. So there's not really like individual guy routes. There's individual guy events. So technically, theoretically, you should be able to play through the entire game and unlock everything for all 3 guys in one playthrough. Theoretically. Now, when I played through the first time, I got everyone to 100%. But I didn't get Val's ending at the end. And like when you get to the end of the game, you'll understand what I mean. But I don't know if that's a glitch or what. So I had to play through again and get Val to 100% to get his stuff. Don't exactly know what's up with that. Maybe it's a glitch. Maybe I'm completely wrong and you're not supposed to be able to get all three in the same route. I don't know. I don't know. So I've seen other people kind of mention it in reviews on like Steam of an issue with like Val not being able to unlock the very, very end and having to go back. So, you know, whatever. So, but my understanding is for a lot of mobile games, that's kind of a normal way the game is set up, to where you have like one long really route and then like little side branch events for each guy instead of like complete individual routes like you see in other games. So again, I don't play a lot of mobile Otome games, so I don't really know what is normal and what is not. But I will say, coming from playing mostly normal Switch Otome games where you have like routes for the guys, like a common route, and then splits off to the guys' individual route, I was fine with this. Now, it is kind of weird. You are essentially dating three guys at the same time. I kind of actually really liked that. That awakened something in me, because you basically are playing a game where you have a little male harem the entire time, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Actually. That's up to your preference. You may not, and maybe it will like take you out of the story. I don't know. I enjoyed it thoroughly, having my little male harem and just dating all three at the same time. I was like, this is great. I like this. So, plus also it's like y'all are high schoolers. Well, no, you guys are not high schoolers. You guys are in school. You're like college age. So I'm like, dating multiple people at the same time, that's not that abnormal for like college age young adults. Whatever. So that's just kind of like how the game works. And let's actually talk about like the story. So here's the main character, and you get to add your name when you start. I don't remember what her set name is, because I changed my names to Adri. I don't pay attention to any of the characters. Like when I'm playing a Otome game, I don't pay attention to what their name actually is. I just like put in my name and go on. So this is you. This is who you play as. There's aspects of your personality that are ingrained in it, but I don't feel like the MC's personality really shines through in the game, which again is okay. I'm here for the guys. I'm here for the husbandos. I don't necessarily care as much about the MC's personality. I mean, as long as they're not annoying. If they're really annoying, then I kind of care. But, it's whatever. So, but as you can see in this little image, she has a black wing and she has a white wing. So you live in a fantasy world. You have angels and humans and demons, and the angels are called Angelus and the demons are called Daemons. So I'll try to remember to refer to like the same thing. So you have like three worlds that are kind of in a balance. No one's fighting and killing each other exactly at the moment. Like there's no great wars or anything. But, you have these three groups, and it's pretty common for like daemons to hook up with humans and Angelus to hook up with humans, but it's a very, very much a no-no for a daemon and an Angelus to hook up. And as you can tell by your wings, obviously you are the progeny of one of those forbidden loves. So your parents, you had a father who was a daemon and a mom who was an Angelus, and they had you, and they had a forbidden love and were tore apart, and you were sent to live in the human world and be raised as a human. Congratulations! And then you turn 18, and it's like, oh, guess what? You're actually a mythical being. Technically, you are something that has never existed before, as far as we know. Congratulations. There's probably some drama in that, if we're being really honest. So you are raised in the human world by adoptive parents and adoptive siblings, and you're like, I'm a noble, I'm rich, cool. and you turn 18 and they're like, guess what? You're half Angelus and you're half Damon and you need to go to a special school. It's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And the interesting thing about the main character is you kind of just roll with it. You're kind of just like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, sure, makes sense. Um, I mean, I guess, you know, if you see a ton of like Angelus and Damon people in front of you at some point, it's just like, okay, whatever. So you're like, okay, I'll go to school. And you are going to Celestia Academy. And Celestia Academy is a school for Damons, Angelus, and then half-breeds, and then you're the special half-breed. And of course you encounter, like, you know, people who are prejudiced against Damons or prejudiced against Angelus, you know, so on and so forth. Everyone doesn't exactly get along all hunky-dory like, right? But you do meet these three guys as you go, and they love you and you love them. And yeah, I'm not going to go into the story like too much because like that's the main point of a visual novel from my perspective. An Otome game is to enjoy the story. I will say I thoroughly enjoyed the story. Is it the most deep story I've seen? No, but I don't need deep stories, okay guys? I don't need incredibly deep stories. I just need well-written and fun stories. So the story is well-written. The characters are fun. There's a bunch of side characters. Like you have a roommate named Maya. You have this kind of enemy rival named Lilith. And there's this jerky guy who is not a romance option named Seraph. You have a little brother named Flynn. You have an older brother named Damien. And all the characters, even the side characters that, well, I will say main side characters that pop up are pretty well written. And then there's like extra characters that really aren't that important. And they really don't get, they just get like black silhouettes. They don't actually get images. I kind of feel bad for those extras. I kind of would like to see, I would have liked to seen, instead of like the black silhouettes, like an actual drawing of some kind. But you know, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Those characters really weren't that important. So, but I like the characters and how they interact. And one thing that's also really nice about having basically the entire story be like one long path, and then like each guy's events are kind of little branches, is the guys are interacting the entire game. I like it when games do that. Like, Ash and Val are constantly fighting and bickering, and Luke is over there just like, oh my gosh, guys. And like, when they're fighting, Luke is usually hitting on you and trying to spend time with you, and he's like, I'm going to take advantage of this situation because these two idiots are, you know, fighting instead of paying attention to you. So you kind of get to see like the romance between the three guys, and you get to see them like be friends. So I really like that, and it adds a lot of like comedy to the game. There's like a you'll probably find out if you play, and I don't want to spoil it, but there's like 2 or 3 really comedic moments that I did not expect to happen in an Otome game, and I was all for it. I was like, yeah, this is hilarious. I was very, very well entertained. So I did really like to see that interaction between the guys. So let's talk a little bit more about the guys themselves. So this is Ash. He is the Prince of Galatia in the human realm. He has ice magic, you know, blue hair, ice magic. Galatia is also like this kingdom that's basically an eternal winter, apparently. So yeah, he is a half Angelus. His mother is like a low rank, full-blooded Angelus, and she's, I guess, married to the emperor or a concube. I think she's like the empress technically. That wasn't entirely clear throughout the story. And of course, Ash has his own little subplot going into that. All of my questions weren't answered by the end, and I don't know if maybe some stuff gets answered a little bit more in Celestia Chain of Fate 2, which is why I really hope P-Cube ends up bringing more of Agate's games to PC and Switch, because I'm like, I would like to see Celestia Chain of Fate 2, please. Like, I'm asking, I'm begging. I would really appreciate it. So, and that's kind of a common thread with all 3 guys is each one has like these personal quests that you get involved with, which is nice because you get to know them more. And a lot of these personal quests are involved with their little romantic side notes. By the end of the game, I didn't have all my questions answered. Like, there was enough to where I was like, okay, whatever. But it was also like, okay, you didn't answer all the questions. Like, okay, there's got to be a continuation. So, Val is our fiery demon guy. He's from Daemon. He's from the Daemon realm. And he's kind of cocky a little bit. He's kind of like has a little bit of a fiery temperament, but he's not mean in any shape or form. So just to be aware, these 3 guys, all of them are nice and very much in love with you. None of them are mean or do anything bad or anything really sketchy. So that was kind of refreshing. There's not like that one character that you're like, oh, really? What, you just did that? So they don't have that here. Now again, I do like some of that stuff. Like, I really like Toma from Amnesia. And I like Futami from Charade Maniacs. So, you know. So that type of character is not in this game. All these guys are very much in love with you. They're very nice. So even though Val is like a Daemon, he's very much kind of like a jockey guy. A little bit of a fiery temper, but not like a bad temper. He's kind of loud and rambunctious, but he's not evil. Okay, Daemons are not necessarily evil or good, just like angels are not necessarily good or evil, and just like humans are not necessarily good or evil. There's obviously, for like all 3 groups, there's good and bad people. So, yeah, Val is very much a very good guy. He's just, you know, jockey, loud, and rambunctious. And he's kind of like that popular guy. Kind of going back to Ash real quick, because I didn't say this a lot. Ash is a little bit of kind of a loner, I feel like. Like, I'm thinking on the route and the story, and I don't feel like we really talked about Ash's friends much. I don't think he had very many friends outside of these 3. Like, when I think of Val and Luke, I remember like kind of incidents where their friends pop up. And I don't feel like I really remember that happening for Ash too much. So, you know, it's whatever. So, Ice Prince, it's a little bit of a trope. Ice Prince, kind of cold, kind of keeping it all inside, having to deal with a lot of crap. Home life is crap. He is also very sweet and loving. They're all sweet and loving. And he's very much like, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to take care of you. Oh, I like his blue hair. I really do. So going into the game, Ash was my favorite because of his blue hair. And he's a prince. I would think her princes. But after playing the game, I really don't know if I can say I have a favorite, because I really liked all 3 of them. So maybe this is kind of like, maybe potentially one gripe. The guys are pretty similar. Like, there's definitely differences between them, but they're all very much in love with you. They're all very much, I want to take care of you and protect you. So they're really not, like, personality-wise, as different as you would expect in a Otome game. Now, did that make me not enjoy the game? No. I still liked it. 3 nice guys who are in love with me. They're okay with this. So, but that could potentially bother other people. Okay, and then let's talk about Luke. He kind of reminds me of like a healer, just because, you know, I play Final Fantasy 14. I'm like, white mage, green eyes, earthy. He's an Angelus. Very kind of quiet, very popular. He has his own individual side quest, which I don't want to spoil because, like, it's fun to experience. He's kind of popular. He's very nice. He gets along with people. He is a mediator between these 2, like 90% of the time. But he's also a little sneaky because, like I mentioned before, when Val and Ash start fighting, he's like, "Oh, hey girl, let's go spend some time together." So he does take advantage of the situation. So he's also very smart. So he has more like earthy magic. Val has fiery magic. Ash has icy magic. You have wind magic. So magic all around. So yeah, there's very cute incidents with the guys, and all three routes, well, I shouldn't say routes. They're not really routes, but all three like guys' little events I did think were fun and enjoyable. I will say, like, where the game is kind of lacking on like the deep plot, it does make up for with like there's a lot of cute, fluffy, romantic scenes, and that's what I'm here for. So I was very happy about how like the romantic scenes, like they're flirting with you, you're kissing, there's more intimate moments, so on and so forth. This is not a Nora Roberts novel, but compared to a lot of other Otome games I've played, this is a little bit more on the closer to a Nora Roberts novel on some stuff than others. So, like for example, I've played Charade Maniacs, and that one has almost like very little romance into it. It's very much the story, not a lot of romance. Whereas this is very much like there's a lot of romance in there. So I thoroughly enjoyed that because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to romance three hot guys. Okay. So endings. I guess there's like technically like three endings, one for each of the guy. The entire story is like 20 chapters long. So let me show you. So I will note here, I have played the game on my Steam Deck, so I could play in bed, and my save did not transfer to my PC. So the good news is I can't really spoil you, but it's going to look like I haven't actually played the game. So let me kind of get down here. So yeah, continue. My saves are not here. Here's a cute bunny. So new game, start a new game, options. Pretty much like your basic options you need for a visual novel. Sound, they have pretty sound. I do like the sound. Extra. So one thing I do really like is they have side stories, and there's about like 20 of them, I think. I'm not going to sit here and count these. There's like 20 of them, and the side stories are like, there's a couple of them for the main characters, and then a bunch of them are for the side characters. So usually after you would finish a chapter of the main story, you would also unlock another side story or two. So usually what I did is after I finished that chapter and I unlocked the side story, I'd go save, and then I go read the side story and then go back to the main story. You could just wait till like you finish and go back and read the side stories, but I did kind of like having that extra story to kind of have more knowledge of the side characters as you interact with them. Okay, you have the gallery for all the little CGs. I will say my one complaint in this game is this is not a lot of CGs. This is not a lot of pretty pictures, and I really like the pretty pictures. I usually save them onto my desktop and maybe use them as like wallpapers, stuff like that. So that is one thing that I was a little bit disappointed on, is there's not a ton of pretty pictures. Like this is it for all three guys. So a couple of these are like, your generic for the story that's not really related to the individual guys. And then this is also where the guy CGs are. Now, that being said, the art in this game is fucking gorgeous. I probably shouldn't have cussed, but whatever. So like if we go back to this is the art style of the game. So all the character sprites look like this. The CGs, the images look like this. It's really phenomenal art. Like I really love it. So that's another thing. Like I'm, a good story, a good romance, and good art, and you have all three, I'm just like, I'm gonna have a great time. So yeah, I really loved the art. And then like the pretty scenes, the pretty CGs with the guys. Amazing. Save your gallery, and then you have these bad ends. So there's like 22 bad ends. So I will say when you're making the choices, the bad ends are, I do feel like a little bit obvious. Usually like you'll get to a choice and you'll see like, you always have three options when you're making a choice. And usually it's going to be like two are very similar, but like the options are very similar, but like slightly worded differently. And then there's like the third option, which is different, significantly different. different enough to notice. And usually either that single option that's different will lead to a bad end, or the two options that are the same will lead to a bad end. So by the time I got like more than halfway through the game, I could kind of be like, I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to a bad end. But I did find the bad ends kind of interesting. Like, they were pretty fun in and of themselves. So I did actually like unlocking those, even though typically I really don't like bad ends. I think one of the reasons I kind of didn't mind doing the bad ends in this game is because it's just one choice, and then, you know, you reload and go back. So it's not like some of these other Otome games where it's like you play for 6 hours and then you get a bad end and you have to start all the way over to go get the good end. So yeah. But I did enjoy that. And then memories. So this is where you can see all the chapters, and there's 20 chapters. So, and as you can see, the backgrounds are really pretty. This is your parents. They're pretty, they're cute. See, and then they have their credits over here, which is nice. Let's actually get into the game a little bit to show you. Ah, okay, her name is Arya. So I always change this to Adri because I like to be called my name. But look at her. She's pretty. She's beautiful. Fortunately, since I play on my Steam Deck and not on my PC, which I record on my PC, I can't go to a save. So, but the only things I'm going to show you is what you would see in the demo also. Because again, I don't want to spoil, I don't like to spoil visual novels. I just like to talk about them. Because like at the end of the day, you should go play it. But I'm going to introduce you to our adopted family. I'm not going to introduce you to the three guys because it's going to take too long. And I will say this, guys, like, the demo is out there. I'm pretty sure you can still play the demo. Like, if you're kind of on the fence of the game, go play the demo. The demo is like 2 hours long, something like that. Okay, so this is our adoptive mom. I believe her name is like Helena. And then this is our adoptive dad. And look, their sprites are gorgeous too. Like, our parents are hot. Okay? Like, the art is just so good. The backgrounds are solid. The sprites are solid. The CGs are solid. I'm such an art lover. So the chapters are always showing you at the beginning and the end. I assume this is coming from like kind of the visual novel format a little bit, because I'm assuming not the visual novel format, the mobile visual novel format. I'm assuming that's kind of where it's coming from, because I think in the mobile app, you are playing by chapter and potentially paying by chapter. I know when I opened the app, it mentioned something about diamonds. So my assumption is like you're paying per chapter or something like that. Which if you don't want to spend money, you probably have to wait a while. I don't know. So, and this is what I did find kind of odd. So starting the game, the maids, like, these are just maids that don't have names, right? And they have character sprites, kind of. They don't have eyes, but, you know. But this is not how all of the, like, minor characters are done. So I would have liked something like this for all the minor characters that we see in the rest of the game. Like, you don't have to go crazy detailed. You don't have, I mean, I would kind of prefer eyes a little bit, because not having eyes is a little creepy. Okay, and our magical ability is we can see breezes, which are connected to emotions. So this is our cute little brother, Finn. He's a kawaii. So this is what the choices look like. You always have 3. And this one kind of leads to it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Okay. We want to introduce you to our older brother, Damien. He should be popping up any second. Should be. Yes, we are the cutie patootie. We are very beautiful. People love us. Guys love us. So this is Damien. This is our older brother. So he does not have a route, guys. He is our brother. Let me say this again. He is our brother. Even though not biologically, he does not have a route. I really like Damien. So I enjoyed him as a character. I was kind of a little bit sad that he didn't have a route, which is probably concerning. But yeah, no, he does not have a route. He's hot, but no route. No events. Okay, so that's just to show you kind of how the game plays. It has the 3 choices, so on and so forth. Something that's also fun is like there's this infection set in. So this kind of tells you, and you can kind of see what's going on. How is your route going? Does Ash like you? Also, I do like this little guide here. So these chapters, it's telling you when his events are going to happen. And so after like you do his event in chapter 1, you get some progress here. Now, I will state, this is not like other Otome games where it's like necessarily you pick the right choice, from what I was saying. Like, it's more of, do you have the event? So I was like, as I played through, I did like a lot of save scumming and like reloading, and you would pick a choice. Like, so Ash basically says, hey, want to hang out? And you can either say, yes, let's go hang out, or you can be like, no, I don't feel like it. If you say, no, I don't feel like it, the main story continues, and you don't get to see that little event with him. But when I actually got into the event, then usually there'd be more choices, and it didn't really seem like what choice I picked in there really mattered too much. Like, as long as you saw the event, got on the branch to actually see the event, then their love affection status would increase. Now again, with Val, I had him at 100 and I didn't get to see his chapter 20 thing, so I don't know exactly what was going on with that, whatever. So I only got to see, in my first playthrough, I only got to see like Luke's and Ash's chapter 20 stuff, but like I had all 3 of them at 100, so I'm not really sure what I did wrong there. But you know, whatever, I just had to play it again. And since I'd done all the choices, it's just like, zoomy, skip, whatever. And let's see. This goes back to the memory page. And then this is the guide just to tell you how to like do stuff with your buttons. So, one note about the memories page is when you unlock them, you can kind of go back. The only problem is like, it's really not that useful. Like if you want to replay a scene, it's kind of useful. But like when you, let's say you start a new game, you're like, oh, I want to start at chapter 5. Well, you're going to start with 0 affection status. So like for Ash, if you start at chapter 5, you're going to miss out on the chapter 1 and 3. So you won't be able to get him to 100. So I didn't feel like it was really that useful to have, but you know, whatever. So would I recommend you get this game? Yeah, if you want a game that's more on the fluffy side, I would say, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of romance here. Now, if you're also okay with like romance and 3 guys at the same time and basically having a male harem, yes, play this game. If you are not a fan of that style of play, which some people are not, then you're probably not going to enjoy it. Now, you could potentially also just play the game and be like, I'm just going to focus on Ash, and when he asks me to hang out, we're going to hang out and ignore the other 2. You can do that. That makes me kind of feel bad to ignore them because they kind of make like sad faces. So good luck. I would also say if you like how mobile Otome games play, but you don't necessarily like the monetization of them, then I would say this is also a good game to play. because my understanding is it's very much similar to how a lot of mobile Otome games play. You just don't have like the garbage pay per chapter. And that's what I like. I would just rather buy the game than have to pay by chapter, because it always feels like I'm paying a lot when I pay by chapter. I don't know. There's some mobile apps that are significantly more predatory than others. Same thing with like webtoons, and like pay by the chapter, like novels, stuff like that. So, but I really enjoyed this game. It's really good art. I liked the story. I liked the school setting. But you guys aren't like kids. Like, you're all 18, so everyone's an adult. I really liked that everyone is an adult. It allowed for a little bit more adult conversations and adult romances. Like, don't get me wrong, the high school love story is kind of cute every now and then, but I'm older, I'm an adult, I want kind of adult stories. Like, just for example, I really like Cupid Parasite more than I like Charade Maniacs, because I really prefer playing as an adult character, romancing adult men, rather than a teenager romancing other teenagers, and sometimes adult men too. So, yeah. But music's good, characters are good, story is good, art is fantastic. The art is fantastic, and when I looked at their Agate's like app, it looked like their other stories had really great art. So yeah. So is this my favorite Otome game? No, my favorite Otome game is Cupid Parasite. But like, I don't really like to rank Otome games too much, because that is maybe a little bit too much effort on my end, a little bit too comparison. So I really don't go by that. I just go, I really enjoyed this game. That's just what it comes down to. Is it better than Cupid Parasite? No. Is it better than other Otomes I've played? Yeah, actually, yeah, it has. But I've really enjoyed this game. I really loved playing it. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's just what it comes down to. I really enjoyed my time playing it, and I think that's what matters. It's a yes. Yes, I think you should grab it. And also, then this goes back to, if you want to see P-Cube keep, bringing more Otome games, whether it's from Agate or potentially someone else, then you should go buy the games and support them. So, give your love. And if you don't have the money, because I understand economy's bad, right? Crap is expensive. I do understand, guys. I really do understand. If you can't buy the game, then, just support the publisher, share wish lists, like games, keep an eye out for a sale. They'll probably go on sale at some point. Most Otome games do. But if you have the ability to buy the game now, and you really like Otome games, and you like fluffy romance ones, then I do really recommend going and buying this game. It's really good. I don't feel like the $30 is overpriced for what you get. I got a lot of time out of it. I don't know what my exact playtime was. I'm not going to look. But I think I got at least like 20 hours out of it, something like that. And I think that was when I looked before I had finished. So, I usually kind of look at games. Am I getting like, if the game's $30 and I get 30 hours out of it, I'm happy. So with the Otome games, I usually like hit that quite easily. It's almost never a concern of whether I feel like I get my money's value out of an Otome game. Because, it's a novel. You read it. They're usually long. So, so money-wise, I don't feel like it's a bad price. It also just goes back to, like, it looks really good. Everything's really good, guys. I can't say that more. Maybe this review is not that useful because I'm just like, oh my god, it's good, guys. You should go play. But anyway, that's it. This video has gone on for quite a bit. It's kind of long, and if you make it to the end, I do appreciate that, because it's kind of long at this point. It's going to be one of my longest videos. But anyway, have a great day. Thank you for watching. I super appreciate it. And again, thank you to keymailer and P-Cube for granting me the key to the game. And that's it for today, guys, and bye-bye!